Like, no, 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 no.
Wait.
My mom was complaining about how the chicken was wet and slimy.
Yeah. Well, I'll try not to mention anybody's girlfriend.
That's just it. That's what's up. Come on down. Let's have a talk. That's just it. That's what's what. Party hard and puke it up. Come on, man. KB, cable access, TV, YouTube, interwebs. We're dudes, good friends, couple guests, lots of laughs. All these dudes high on crack. You're now tuned in. Enjoy this shit from Portland, Maine. And that's just it. That's just it. That's what's up. Come on down. Let's have a talk. That's just it. That's what's what. Party hard and puke it up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of That's Just It with Connor and myself, Kurt. We've got a special episode today, a real nice special guest, but I'll let Connor introduce him.
Thanks so much, Kurt. We got a very special guest here. I think he's our biggest guest yet, both literally and figuratively. The biggest guest we've had on the show. He's a guest that I find I have a lot in common with. He's a purveyor of fine dining. I've eaten at many Applebee's and Pizza Hut over my 24 years on Earth. He has done many drugs and alcohol over the course of his life and lived to tell the tale in a very entertaining way. I once accidentally ate 4 hash brownies at a party and freaked out and called my dad and asked him what to do.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't a good night.
That was not a good night. You were in a psycho circus.
Psycho circus. Yeah. But he's the writer of Portland Food Coma and the star of Food Coma TV. A very popular man about town and probably the premier voice of Portland food writing. Mr. Joe Ricchio, welcome to our little show, Joe.
Hey,
Thank you for having us. Thank you for getting the special chair for the biggest guest
you got it,
thus
man.
far. You know, we don't want any
structural
accidents.
We don't want any structural problems. We've had problems with a lot of chairs shattering.
We've had
on this show before, whether it's just collapsing under the weight of our guests or just getting frustrated with the guests and just smashing it over their head, pro wrestling style.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't
all
happen
been
tonight.
edited out.
It gets, yeah, he is very, to date myself, a little very Springer-esque.
Springer-esque, exactly.
Yes. Yeah. We need to get some boobies on this show.
Exactly.
I've got there
right.
are boobies. They're not the right kind of boobies, but there are boobies.
Right kind that you want.
All right, well.
So anything else that you want that we already have, or was that all?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah.
The show's done.
Recovering from that long, awkward silence
Yes,
before we
very
started.
special episode's over.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
That's just it. That's what's up. Come on down. Let's have a talk. That's just it. That's what's what. Party hard and puke it up.
Very, very clean and open-ended. Tintin buffet.
Yeah, Connor said everything that you really need to say about me, so what else do I have to say?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's dig in a little deeper. Might as well. We got like
referred
what?
to me as doing alcohol.
Doing alcohol, yeah, doing alcohol.
He's done a lot of alcohol, and I guess.
I should be in jail right now for doing too much alcohol last night.
Yeah, he's done a lot of alcohol.
But anyway, so Let's start off. Food Coma TV. You guys are on your second season now, or you're just wrapping
up the second season.
Cool. And for those out there who don't know about Food Coma TV, pretty much, Joe, you go to towns in Maine and you taste their delicious culinary treats.
Exactly. Basically, towns in Maine that are not on the kind of tourist map. You know, no Portland, Kennebunkport, Camden, Bar Harbor, etc. And we go to these towns and we just basically eat and drink our faces off and report back on whether or not these towns are in fact fun. And pretty much all of these towns can be fun if you're drunk enough.
If you're drunk enough,
you have to get drunk enough.
It's what I've wondered, like the selection process, like besides what goes into the non-obvious towns, because besides those 3 or 4 towns, there's not really a lot of reason to fit.
No, like Fort Kent and
Fort Kent.
Yeah,
there's a lot of towns like that, and what made you pick the ones that what made you pick? The one that stands out in my mind mostly is Sanford.
Nice.
Sanford is just like.
Well, Sanford is like basically, you know, if you want to go someplace and just like that's just like trashy and get fucked up and kind of thing, like that's what I'm told that Sanford is. It was good for, and I was like, well, you know, that's what I was led to believe you do in Sanford. Yeah. But I thought maybe there was more to it. Yeah. And you know, they did have a Bonanza.
Right, exactly.
And so we were kind of like we were down with Bonanza. I mean, they put our name on the marquee and everything. So Sanford was actually one of the definitely, you know, you weren't the only one surprised. We were all very surprised on how good of a time we had, and actually how good the food was that we ate in Sanford.
Because I was in Sanford once, and it kind of had like a Deliverance vibe. I did a comedy show in Sanford once, and we like stopped at a gas station, and I thought one of the prettier comics was going to get grabbed or something. We'd have to fight off.
Yeah, that's what happens when you roll with pretty comics.
Yeah. So you
go to Sanford with pretty comics.
Shit, I know. I gotta keep a roll.
Bad things happen at gas
I'll go with
stations,
you next time.
You know? Yeah, exactly. I will protect you.
Yeah.
In Sanford, I'm actually big in Sanford now.
Right.
They love me in Sanford. I put that town on the map.
Big popularity in Sanford. I don't think I'm very popular in many Maine towns.
Oh no.
No,
not at all.
I think I'm very unpopular in Farmington, Maine.
They won't let you into Livermore
Do they still
Falls
have that kind
either.
of like Rocky-esque statue of you in Rumford? Or?
Rumford, yeah, me pumping my fist, holding a bottle of Moxie.
Yeah.
To bring it back to Sanford, there used to be this amazing place called Cake Land. And and it was this little tiny shop, and they sold cake molds. And whenever I went there, they were always closed. And they had this awesome Harry Potter cake mold of his face, and I really wanted to get it for this girl I was dating at the time, but didn't end up working out because when I went there, the Cake Land was gone. Place demolished.
It was actually literally like the building was gone.
It's gone. It was gone.
Had a personal vendetta against Cake Land.
Someone doesn't like cake too much, so I haven't been back to Sanford since. My heart was crushed.
Yeah,
that's a reason.
She dumped you as a result.
And that was like the saving grace. I was like, I'm gonna get you this cake mold. You're gonna love it. I can't tell you what it is. And then went back. She's like,
I feel like any relationship that can be saved with a cake mold isn't worth saving.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I should think about it next time. But
yeah. That's just that's me putting it out.
I should take your advice for that. Yeah.
Because I as far as relationships go,
yeah.
Cake mold.
Cake mold's not a worthy reason.
Well, I tried to get her one of those Razor scooters too. But
oh, that's more worthy.
Maybe you should have gone to Sanford and got her some bath salts.
Oh yeah.
It's some OxyContin.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, actually, Sanford's more of an Oxy town. Bath salt's more of a Bangor thing, right?
Yeah, bath salt's kind of a college thing. Yeah, Bangor, Orono.
Is it a college thing?
I think it was They started really.
It was college. Head shops in college.
And all the crazy motherfuckers.
And all the all the because it doesn't show up on drug tests or anything.
Right. Thank God. because there's so many things, so many jobs that you're going to get when you're all fucked up on bath salts. Thank God it doesn't show up on the drug test.
Yeah, it's like good thing I can get that job at Dairy Queen.
Luckily the Major League Baseball, I was able to actually, pass all my drug tests on bath salts.
Right.
Exactly.
What do they call it? The liquid steel? Or there's a couple names, street names for bath salts that sound like they should be like swords or something. Like,
yeah. Or like 80s cop movies.
Yeah, 80s.
Is one of them +5 Holy Avenger?
Man,
Claymore.
I'm on that +5 Holy Avenger guy.
Yeah.
Give me that 2-hole Claymore.
I think more D&D names should be applied to drugs.
Sure, yeah, definitely. Now,
Charm person. That was a good spell, easy spell early on.
Yeah.
Charm person.
Just take a hit of this charm person.
Charm self.
Charm self.
Then charm person.
Man, I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons.
Maybe we should have just filmed us playing Dungeons and Dragons.
That would have been great, yeah.
That would have been what was it.
Yeah.
That was
That
it. That's
was
just
it.
That is it.
That's
is
just
it.
it. That's
Just
what
it.
it is.
Ah,
It's
next
role-playing
time.
games.
Yeah.
We could have all sorts of things. We could have like Settlers of Catan or
Oh yes.
man. What were we thinking?
RPGs, man.
Yeah, that's where it's
Not playing card-based RPGs.
at.
No
Like-
Magic.
No Magic the Gathering.
No, just
straight up
straight
dice.
up ones that require a brain and some imagination.
Right.
So yeah. Was there something else you wanted to talk about besides?
Yes, I had another question. Now, you've obviously worked in restaurants for many years.
Yes.
Now you're behind the scenes, not behind the scenes, but you're not in the restaurants. You're not in the
I
belly
still
of the
every
beast.
now and then show up on a bar here.
That's right. You
but
show up
yes.
at the Snug, and then everybody's like, "It's the guy."
Yeah, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to play by. It's good. It's a good.
Yeah, they'll
setup.
just tip you automatically, and
Yeah, I just like hold up my arms and all the money comes out. That's one of my charm person spells that I cast.
yeah, just throw it on the spell at the Snug. But now that you aren't working in the restaurants, you're not in the belly of the beast. You're not, doing
as angry on a regular basis.
angry. I know it's ridiculous, but do you think twice how you treat people at other restaurants? Do you think twice before you throw the moons over my hammy at the Denny's waitress
Yes,
head
definitely.
on a Tuesday night?
Yes, I will always be at heart a restaurant worker,
Right.
employee. I definitely and will behave accordingly in a restaurant situation, and will also become. I'm very easily embarrassed in restaurants.
Yeah,
By anybody kind of acting out in any way.
right.
Which is especially awkward if you're out with people who you don't know, and it's like they're taking you out, and especially like if they're paying and then like
Yeah.
they're being an asshole, and you want to explain to them that I would rather actually saw my fingers off than even be here with them and have the free meal they're providing for me.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't.
I've had that experience before.
Oh yeah.
I was at a friend with Pizza Hut, at Pizza Hut again.
Pizza
back
Hut.
to Pizza Hut.
Yeah, Pizza
Yeah.
Hut.
Well, Pizza Hut has the cheesy breadsticks.
Cheesy
And they've got the
breadsticks.
salad bar.
Stuffed crust pizza, but they forgot to tip, so I was like,
Forgot. There's no forgetting.
I didn't bring
There's
it.
no such thing as forgetting to tip.
No.
You either don't tip.
you
or
don't
you
tip,
do tip.
you're a jerk, or you're not.
Is there a hole in my? Are we good? Okay.
No, we're
I
good.
didn't know how if there was a hole in the crotch of my jeans. Or
Let's talk about Motley Crue. You're a
Let's.
huge Motley Crue fan. I hear.
Yeah, love Motley Crue.
So what's
Although
your-
for some reason I didn't even bother going for the Tommy Lee tickets at the Asylum the other
Oh,
night.
I didn't-
see,
Because Tommy Lee dubstep with
No.
Methods of Mayhem is
I-
not
I-
Motley Crue.
It's
No.
kind of sad. Yeah, I
It
would have
is.
seen. I mean, I would have seen like any other. I would have seen.
Nikki Sixx.
Nikki Sixx.
Nikki Sixx.
I would have seen like the amazing, just like Mick Mars like
Just-
propped up
Yeah,
on
Mick
something.
Mars
like,
propped up.
Mick Mars like as a marionette, like being like played in the theaters. Like,
that would be
Right.
great, like a puppet show.
Yeah, Mick Mars, the
Mick
puppet
Mars
show
puppet
with
show.
actual Mick Mars. And
Yeah.
just that would have been incredible.
Yes, that would
I
be
would've-
incredible.
I would have rather seen like any other Motley Crue member doing anything other than Tommy Lee spinning house music. Like,
I'd rather go see like Dizzy Reed.
Dizzy
Yeah.
Reed, yeah. Would have rather seen like Vince Neil delivering a lecture on like geophysics or something. That would have
Yeah.
been more entertaining.
I'd rather,
What's your favorite record?
My favorite Motley Crue record. I mean, I don't know. I got to go Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah.
It's like it is like the most popular one, but I mean, it's funny. It walks that line of like when a band first gets sober, and they haven't lost their edge yet. Like they're sober enough that they're just getting things done
Getting
and they're
it
playing
done.
all this stuff, and
Right.
they haven't like got all soft yet.
Yeah.
So it was like them like at like the top of their game.
Right.
And every song on Feel. I mean, like a lot of Motley Crue albums have a lot of filler on them.
That's true.
There's like a lot. I mean, there's like a lot of kick-ass stuff, and then there's like a few things where you're like, this is just something they threw in to add an extra.
Right.
But Dr. Feelgood, like I think from
Start to finish.
Start to finish.
I'm a big fan of just the first record. That one's
Too
Too Fast
Too
for
Fast for
Love.
Love,
Yeah, that one really does it
well,
for
Too
me.
Fast for Love. The track itself is amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. The Donnas covered that.
Yep.
It wasn't very good though.
I like the song on Too Fast for Love, Come On and Dance, because it's probably like the least danceable
Oh
song
my
with the
gosh,
word
that's
dance
right,
on
yeah.
in the title.
You could. That's like.
You can't really
Tommy
dance to it.
Lee should do a dubstep version of that.
Come
that
on
might
and
work.
dance.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tommy Lee should just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Just stop.
Just quit while you're ahead. We all know you've
done
got a
your
Starbucks
thing.
in your house, and we know about the big penis
Starbucks.
thing.
That's the
right,
thing. That's
yeah.
just that
He
will
does.
We know
really-
about the big penis thing, and then it's
Right.
like, just let it roll. Like, you quit while you're ahead. Like, why?
Why do that? It's not like you're not making any money touring with Kiss this
Why don't
summer.
you and Fred Durst go monkey down with the sickness someplace else?
Oh God.
Fred Durst. That's
Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was a former guest on this show.
He was. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. He was him and Wes with the monkey guitar.
Yes, Wes Borland. Yeah.
Wes Borland,
Big
yeah,
dumb.
that's right.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of his side project, but I would have known if you came on this show when I was 12. I would have been all about Limp
I know.
Bizkit. I would have just been asking what you think about $3 bill, y'all.
I'm constantly stuck in
no, no.
1998. You know, I just can't escape sometimes.
I just actually found my. I was a member of the Smash Mouth fan club. Found my.
I have to go.
My old man.
I think I have to go.
He just ate a bunch of eggs, tying it back to food.
Oh,
The singer of Smash Mouth. Somebody dared him on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they dared him to eat like 40 eggs for charity, and then Guy Fieri made him a bunch
No. You know what happened is the singer from Smash Mouth is Guy Fieri, and nobody told.
Right,
Like,
you've
nobody
never
listens
seen
to
them in the
Smash
same
Mouth
place.
anymore, and then they're like, oh, let's recycle this guy as Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense now.
And they both wear bowling
I
shirts.
see.
Like the bowling shirt industry needed an extra boost, so they
did.
packaged him.
Somebody once told me. I just, I don't know.
Fushimang, that record.
That was their record.
Was that a Smash Mouth record?
Yeah.
Fushimang, that was the first one.
Fushimang.
Oh, so
I
that was
don't
like
even. We
the,
need to stop.
That was their
talking
underground.
That's for like the deep cuts.
The deep
Jesus.
cuts. It's like after Fushimang.
Yeah, they just went all downhill.
They just went all downhill.
Totally jumped the shark at Astro Lounge.
Yeah.
Jesus
At Fushing Mang, it was kind of like they were like sort of like Mastodon cross with like Dillinger Escape Plan, But then they like sort of like got all pop.
Yeah, they were totally speed
solo.
metal in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's right.
They
were.
just had that one song, the one single, and then ruined it.
Yeah, they were
Ruined
called
everything.
Smashed Pussy.
Smashed
to start,
Pussy.
And then they changed over, and then everything's
More mainstream, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Joe, what I got to ask you, what kind of cuisine do you think is Portland desperately needing the most?
Chinese.
Good Chinese. There's a lot. You can find a lot of bad Chinese.
You can find a lot of. Well, one thing I've realized, like, maybe it's me getting old, is that ghetto Chinese doesn't necessarily do it for me in the way that it used to. It's like the whole like sticky sweet sauce, like an inch of fry batter. Like it's not quite. It used to be like where I go wherever and get that.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine because this is just like whatever. But now even like Chinese American food, like I find I make myself because there's not even really any good Chinese American.
Now,
Let alone actual Chinese food.
right? Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Soul food, I think, is another one.
Yeah, there's not really any.
That's really soul food. There's not really any black people in Maine, but
No, so that's
But I mean, who doesn't like fried chicken?
white
and
people
hash
simply
browns?
do not have enough soul to.
They don't have enough soul to
properly
operate a soul food restaurant.
create soul
Like,
food.
They can eat soul food, but they don't want to operate a soul
They
food
eat
restaurant.
souls, but they don't necessarily.
Exactly. They eat the souls of all the oppressed men and women of the world.
Yeah.
So they go
of
to
the, world, of the world, like you do.
right, like you do.
I don't think we have. I think we also have a shortage of good barbecue. But that's to say, many people would say that above a certain point in the country, there's no good barbecue. It's like
Right,
the South,
people
and
would
then
say, yeah.
nobody. Yeah. So
it's
I
like-
have discovered a couple good places like in Bethel and stuff. That have
Bethel,
good
yeah.
barbecue. For actual like non-Tex-Mex Mexican food.
Mexican, yeah.
There's it's a lot of places that have sort of come close. I feel like Taco Trio. They
It's
come close, but it's like
yeah. But there's something doesn't quite.
it's always something missing with the Mexican places in
Yeah.
Portland.
I go to Fajita Grill and just get so drunk that it don't even matter.
Yeah, you go to the Fajita Grill, you get the Day Destroyer 2000s,
That's right,
is what I call
yeah.
them, the margaritas. They're like this.
They're huge,
And
yeah.
then after you've had two of those, you just tear into their carnitas plate.
Yes, I just had that
Call her
last
a
week.
day.
Yep.
Call her day. That sounds
Delicious.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's actually not too bad.
It really is. Yeah, it's not
I get
bad
the
at all.
I've got the exact same thing every
carnitas
time
plate.
I've ever gone there.
After you're drunk enough, it doesn't even matter what you're eating. Just eating a cardboard box.
That's true. I mean the reason that Papa John's is still in business is proof
It's
that
because
Exactly.
of that, yeah.
the
All the
reason
late
that
night
they have
business.
garlic butter that is neither garlic nor butter.
That is weird
That's
stuff.
weird.
Yeah.
That's how you know. That's like you level. There's two things I know. If I'm trying to figure out how fucked up I was the night before, there's two gauges. A, was I dancing? B, did I eat the garlic sauce when I ordered the pizza? Because if I'm a certain level of drunk, I have the self-control to be like, I'm just gonna load this thing up with like sriracha and go after it and leave and like throw the garlic sauce immediately in the trash can before I even bring it up to my lair. But if the garlic sauce is all tore up, but also if people tell me I was dancing.
Dancing. Gotta say, you got a very rhythmic presence.
You do, yeah. So I'm not saying that I necessarily can't dance, but I'm just telling you that anytime that you see me dancing, you know I'm blacked
Right,
out.
exactly. Blackout
Just don't
drunk.
make any plans with me and expect for me to remember them.
I think I'm the opposite. I think it's too easy to make me dance. I think like
You don't want to give it up too easy.
3 light
Yeah.
beers and I'm just jiving away.
3 light beers.
3 Coors Lights and
Yeah.
I'm flying.
Oh my god.
3 Smirnoff and Crystal Lights, and yep.
I'm off the hinges. That brings to mind one of my favorite blog posts of Portland Food Coma from a while back. There was a short series, unfinished series, where you drank at Asian
Yeah, I know
Bars.
we should. You
Why
know
don't
what?
we do that?
I don't know. I got to do it again. We did because it went so well at Con Asian Bistro. It was like, I mean, it was a shit show.
Right.
But it was amazing. But then
Yep.
Asia, which has since like I think either burned down or moved or something.
Yeah.
Asia in South Portland. We took it so far like right into. We didn't like ease into it. Like the second one, we got like even drunker before we went, and we went in and like at one point like. We got like our sternos taken away on like the poo-poo platters, like our fire privileges. They wouldn't let us light things on fire. They were really angry. I cleared the whole bar out because I was just so drunk, and the food was so bad. I remember this like sweet and sour pork that was like as gray can be with this just like it was like if you took like a shell and filled it up with like Elmer's glue and like gray pork.
Oh.
And so it was like so gross that I felt. And we all went to Howie's after and tried to play Big Buck Hunter, but I was like feeling too wretched to even play Big Buck.
No, that's a bad feeling. Too wretched to play Big Buck.
That's I mean, I've been there before.
Can't
and
even get that Big Buck.
Oh, dude, yeah, I've been down over at Cafe Friends Amigos trying to get a high score at at Big Buck Hunter, and like the last couple of times, I think it has something to do with the humidity too, because I have been missing so many bucks.
You think it's the humidity
I-
because it moistens your trigger finger?
Yeah, I don't have a very good trigger
When
finger
you get a
right
moist
now.
trigger finger, you can't really do a whole lot.
Just
can
give
you?
up.
I
Yeah.
know.
You can't be
giving
blasting
up.
with a moist trigger finger.
All right. Well, we only got a few more minutes
This
left.
time is-
Oh God, that's
man.
people are going to be so disappointed. We only have a few more minutes left.
I know exactly. All this enthralling discussion about role playing and
Trigger fingers.
Trigger
moist,
fingers.
moist trigger fingers.
moist
getting
trigger fingers.
drunk at your fire taking privileges away at it.
Yeah, we will do
Asian.
more getting drunk in family style Asian.
I know, because I always walk by like Valley Cuisine at night, and I'm like, who would ever drink at Valley Cuisine?
I think our next target is Tin Tin Super Buffet in Biddeford. That's
Oh, God.
We're coming after Tin Tin next.
I can't wait to see Tintin.
Maybe you can just come.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, I'll tag along.
Kurt,
We'll tag along.
Just Connor.
Just.
That's fine. I am
We'll see.
deathly allergic to MSG.
Oh, then you
I break-
definitely can't go to Tin Tin Super
I'll
Buffet.
break
Okay.
out in hives.
We'll bring you to we'll bring you for the getting drunk in family seafood restaurants to the Weather Vane.
Oh yes,
Ooh,
Weather
nice.
Vane. Yeah, actually, I got my uncle. My uncle, I think, washes dishes at the Weather Vane.
Nice. Well, we'll give them plenty of dishes to wash. So.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
I was in a commercial for the Weather Vane once when they first opened up. That was a lot of fun because they gave you a bunch of seafood, and I don't really remember much else because I was too young. But
It's a food
I
truck.
was in a commercial for the Weather Vane.
You get
So.
the Admiral's platter.
The
That's what
Admiral's,
you gotta get.
yes, the Admiral's platter.
Yep. Have to go that. Yeah, that's the right. You have to roll with.
Admirable.
Admiral.
Admirable.
Admirable. I don't know. Shit.
So, Joe, I mean, we only have a moment left. Do you have any projects you want to plug?
Well, basically everything I do can be found either on joericchio.com.
So you have your own website,
I have my own website. It's got anything I do, food writing for May Magazine, any blog stuff, video stuff. You can find it all there. Or if you want to be more Food Coma specific, foodcoma.me has all the blogs, videos, and gallery and all. Anything. If you're basically it's a great way to kill a lot of time if you're drinking alone at home.
Which I find myself doing
Yeah.
almost
But
every
you're very
night of the
familiar
week.
with the whole thing,
Right.
so I assume that you.
And I can't watch Kiss videos all the time.
No.
No, there's only so many.
There's only so many.
You've gone through that 1981 Australian tour like what?
A billion
5
times.
5 million times now.
You can only watch Top
every
Gun
move.
so many times.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
I have some friends that certainly know about that.
Top Gun.
All right. Well, I guess we're out of
that it?
time.
Oh.
That's it.
Ah,
That's just it.
shoot,
for
That, I
That's
can't
just
believe
it.
that all of that time just happened so quickly.
I
Just-
know.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Joe Ricchio, thank you very much for coming
Thank
to our
you for
little
having
show. I'm sure you'll be very happy when next time you're on Channel 6. It's like, a real TV show.
I can tell them
At least
all about
we didn't give you any stares though, so.
I know. I wasn't even out of breath this whole time.
Perfect.
I did a good job.
Perfect. Well, it was great having you on the show. Thank you
you.
so
Good to
much,
be here.
Joe. And
Thank you,
for
Kurt.
all
Thank you,
you
Connor.
watching, we'll be back with some more special, wonderful guests very soon. And yeah, that's just it.
That's just it. I'm Connor. He's Kurt. Good night.
See ya.
Tin Buffet. Yeah. And it'll be
Shit.
That's Just It with Kurt and Ian Stewart after that.
Yeah, right.
That will be just it.
That's it. That's it.
That will be just. That's. Just
That'll be the end. of
It's
our
the
fun
best
little
part of the name
show.
of your show. It's generally applicable to damn near anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very nice way. It leaves everything very open.
Yeah.
I know. Very, very clean. Tin Buffet. What was the buffet that the buffet that was near where Con is now?
Oh, that was
Super
Super
Great Wall.
Buffet?
Or
no,
Main Super Buffet.
Main Super Buffet.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I never went to that one.
I just remember I went
I
there
went
once
there.
with my parents, and my mom was complaining about how the chicken was wet and slimy. And my dad was like, I thought the wet and slimy chicken was pretty good.
I remember like somebody telling me they went there and there was like a 6-year-old having a birthday party, and he was excited because he got this whole like Snap-on tools kit. The 6-year-old.
The 6-year-old was
for his
excited? Or
birthday.
the,
Yeah, the 6-year-old was.
Wow.
Oh man.
Are we standing up or are we?
We're done. I
We're good. Yeah.
I'm just standing up in a hurry right now. Oh, I should probably unmic myself.